Hello and welcome back to the Legends Lounge. I'm Rodney Marsh along with Mark Lindsay, ex-Chelsea Crystal Palace, Tampa Bay Rowdies, and a lot of other teams in America that he won't talk about because he made so much money. But when we went to the break, we were talking about countdown to the World Cup, and I want to shelve that for a moment. I want to park that for a moment because you were talking about the story about racism and you and Clyde Best coming over and all that. And I wanted to ask you the question, Mark, about in the modern game today, we see teams taking a knee before the game where they kick racism out of football. What's your take on all that?
Well, my personal take on it, and you must understand that, I mean, I've been out of England for 50 years in terms of football.
But they are doing it around the world.
Yes. And what I went through, I wouldn't really wish anybody to go through it, to be quite honest. It's really, really harsh. It was very, very difficult.
Well, give us an example of that.
Well, you go out and take a corner, as an example, and all of a sudden you've got people that are shouting out the worst possible derogatory words.
Yeah.
And you look over and it's a 12-year-old kid, and you think to yourself, like, well, they're paying, I mean, it's entertainment, right? I mean, it's entertainment, so deal with it. And that's how you had to manage it. But in reality, it's like, there's so many people that go to work and they do their job and they come home and maybe they don't talk to people, maybe they have a laugh with people or whatever, but in the football world at that time, it was like, as I said before, there weren't very many black players that were playing football in England, period. And there was a lot of reasons for that, by the way. However, what I got out of it was just the means of people being able to vent.
But you were just saying earlier, you were saying about with Clyde Best's example, people threatened to throw acid in his face.
So Clyde, God bless him, he's a good friend of mine, and he gave me a book, and he said to me, Mark, if you get a chance, read it. So I was, okay. And it's called The Acid Test, the book. Mm-hmm. And you start flipping through the pages and reading it, and it's like, it's like, wow, the stuff that guy went through as a player back in those days. I'm talking about like the late...
You're not his agent and make your money out of this, but sell the book, are you?
Step right up. No, but he's actually got a documentary coming out as well. I'm not quite sure when, but he asked me to say a few words. That story I just told you is in that book, or in that documentary. So, but no, it was just a tough period of time, I think. For
So you think taking the knee is important? It's not important. What's your take on that?
Well, okay. So there's two components, right? So you've got the individual piece of it, people having a go at you, and then you've got the club or the country piece of it as well. Now, if you're playing in the game and everybody talks to each other and says, look, if they start coming up with all this racism stuff, I'm walking off the field. Now that makes an impact. A statement, and it goes global. So, I think that maybe it's a little bit of each, where the little kid, 8-10 years old, says, Dad, Mum, why is everybody taking a knee? Now, outside of that though, Rod, you've got to look at the reality of it, and that is that it is real, and there are still every now and again international games that go on where the one team just completely walks off the field. They refuse to play because
that's more impactful than just
without any.
It's like a token gesture sort of thing.
That's my.
Okay, we're gonna step aside again and take a little bit of a time out on the Legends Lounge. Come back with us because I'm going to ask Mark something that he doesn't know is coming because how could he? And it's because I've had a few people that have come on to me and said, can you ask Mark Lindsay these questions? And we'll do that right after this break.